Good morning, traders. This is Wilkey with StartupTrading.com. It is about 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday, June 12th, 2020. So it is rollover day. So a lot of people are changing their front month today to the September contract. I will be using the June contract for today's session. I'll switch on Monday. So looking back at yesterday's session, straight down, right, into the abyss, or so it appeared. And today will be one of my shorter trade plan videos because there's only one thing I'm really looking at. So all my levels, unless otherwise noted, are for the June M20 contract. So we're not going to really get into anything. There will be consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. if anyone cares. But really what I want to look at here on the larger time frame, and we'll take this off for a second here. So as we had our epic meltdown and then rise back up, this is the date that I think the script flipped. So on April 9th, I started watching that the longs just were not, the bulls were just not going to be able to be, stopped going into 31, 3200. So as I was looking at that, we're watching, same thing, right? So what we ended up doing was getting into this area of the chart, right, that is basically no man's land. So once we crossed over 3,000, and I'll highlight on the chart, right, once we got across this node at 3,000 and started climbing up, right, there's not much in here, right? It was a vacuum, it was a void. So as we get up here, right, we march up here. We get last Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, traders trapped up here. Yesterday we have a sell. What did we sell right back into? The top of this huge support right around 3,000. And something else that I'm really watching in today's session, if you just draw a traditional fib from the low of May 14th up until high, the halfway back on that is on the June contract is 29.95.75. We stopped 2 ticks above that yesterday and started going up. So what I'm looking for today is I'm looking to potentially play fib levels, but this draw, if it does hold, targets up into more of this zone. It targets up to 33.42 half basically. So right now we just had a retest. We got above this 38.2 fib, but I like to play these fibs level to level as I go through here. So we just got above the 30.51 basically, come back down and tested it and shot back up. So I'm looking for my target for the end of today or sometime today is right around 31.30 if this sequence stays intact. If we get above there earlier and come back and test 31.30, I might re-enter, but I doubt it. I'll probably try to trail my profits up between these levels and hold it tonight. So looking back at where we are, what's going on, again, there's really not much else to say. If we look at the sequencing overnight so far, we've had a 71-point range, by the way, and nothing below that entry on that halfway back long. So a very powerful response out of that halfway back long yesterday. And if we look at all of the contracts, then you notice I have M20 after all these on the daily profiles that I'm looking at. You're almost back up to value area high, your in value, your in value, your in value. So if we look at, getting above yesterday's high, which is where that fib is, right? You can see this 38.2, this 30.51. Like I said, you got above it. You just bounced off of it. Look at the resistance. 1 test, 2 test, you break, you come up, you come back down. Now it's support. So we'll see if we can get above value area high on the ES 3101. And then the previous day's high for the bell, 18.25, and then that target for the first fib, 31.30 half. Breaking back below here, right, you're probably going to get a retest. That'll probably end up turning into support resistance, right? So breaking back above this 38.2, we'll probably get a retest of the 50. Going back down below the 50, the line in the sand right now is 29.40. So watch that if we do get some retracements later today. And again, looking at sequences real quick overnight, you can see the ES just full of piss and vinegar to the upside. The same with the NASDAQ, the same with the Russell. And again, this is the only draw that I'm looking at right now, and seeing on a little bit on the 30-minute time frames. We'll see what happens, but the profile supports this entry and what's going on. And keep in mind that we haven't had any substantial pullbacks, right? If we go back to this and look, I'm gonna remove the draw just so it makes it a little easier for you guys to see. But if you bought the worst trade location, 6 days later, 6 trading days later, you've been rewarded all the way through this from March 23rd. So if this draw that I just pointed out stays intact, we're likely to be over here, over the top of these ranges early next week again. So that will really screw a lot of people that really thought we were going farther than we are. So watch for the break of this draw. It's going to be important, because if we get under 29.43 to the downside, it's really going to explode to the downside. I hope this helps. You guys have a great weekend. Sorry about my first one. Windows updated. I did not have sound. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my handle's down in the additional information.